back to a brand new video on the Top Cricket Academy YouTube channel. Today we're joined by a very special guest. We've got Andrew Buzzer, or Buzzer from Buzz About Cricket. He has a YouTube channel. We will put some clips in now.
My channel Buzz About Cricket. My name is Andy Buzzer and today's video is all about paddle sweeps and scoops. Pretty good so far.
Cheers, mate. This would probably be a better net. This is where I'm looking to be more positive and more attacking. This one, my mentality slightly different. This net here this is a different net.
Oh, you look good in red.
Good rig.
So you could. So now I've said about the head. It's quite that first movement. It actually comes. The head comes from the hips. The head, everything just goes from here, and it just goes dink rather than there. That's all. It was just that. That's not even changed. Just adjust that initial movement.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. See, that's the shot I would kind of be saying to you. Why are you not putting that away? And why are you doing that? Stay big. Stay big.
Look at all my scoring options for these.
So what sort of scenario are we looking at here? Just a shorter format.
Yeah, for me it was. So I watched the Josh Buttler masterclass in the morning about hitting different scoring areas. So if you see me trying more versus more flicks, it's me just thinking, right, I'm just gonna get myself into a reasonably solid position, then just let my hands take over and just see what happens with it. And just tried different things. And then it was like that, because I was doing pretty well with that, I thought, right, I'm going to try and show intent now about how I bat.
Yeah.
So Dan was bowling at me in the previous video as well. Mike's slinging this one, so he's not bowling. And a couple of others, there's a leg spinner bowling at me and another lad that's a bit newer to the game.
Right, okay.
I just thought I'm just going to try and be positive and see where it takes me, having a good mentality. And there's that hand speed trying to come in.
When you on the next ball, just pause on your setup. There. So when you're batting, you say that you feel really comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that look comfortable to you? I know.
No.
This isn't something that I would change it on. But can you see what I mean now? When you look at granted this angle, and I think we're probably on about just outside leg stump from the camera, because we're not obviously dead straight. We're not umpire's view. But can you see what I mean about your knees and the pad line being so far outside off stump?
Oh, totally. I can't. That's the thing. I watch myself back, and it looks so unnatural and so strange to me. But when I'm in it, I feel a couple of times I've tried netting and tried not being like not being like it, but like trying to lessen it. But it's just how I always end up looking, and I could be in that position for a long period of time. Strangely, it's sort of what I've adapted. It's because I used to move loads. At my old club, I was nicknamed Pigeon because I was like, my head used to go like that, and that's why I've tried to get my head forward. I'm just trying to be a lot more still now.
See, for me, what I've seen over the first clips and over this here now, the reason why I'd probably be looking at just adjusting your initial setup is because I haven't seen masses of foot movement when it's come to playing spin. Obviously, you come down the track, but I put that in a different category because I think it's a different style of shot almost.
Yeah. I
haven't seen huge foot movement. So I'd kind of be actually looking at, when I say getting that bigger base, I think it would then allow you to, rather than thinking about, what my head's doing in these little movements, actually focusing more about that weight and can you actually feel your weight moving forward and back? I do an exercise with players where I isolate the feet and I actually get them before the bowlers bowl to make them move and rock.
Yeah.
And they actually kind of get, and it goes smaller and smaller and smaller to the point when the ball's released, they're then still and they're just watching down the line. But what it does, it gets them focusing on their body weight moving forward and backwards rather than side to side. And it is just an isolated drill.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be something that maybe you would want to look at, simply because, like I've said before and I've highlighted before, your you're 6'3", you clearly have power in your game. I just don't think you're utilizing it. And what I'm seeing in that initial setup, feeling is always better. And, you know, in terms of the philosophy of which I speak about in terms of cricket, is it doesn't matter what it looks like as long as it feels good, as long as it is consistent. When I see that, it doesn't scream power to me. It doesn't scream consistent to me. So it'd just be adjusting a few small details in your setup to allow those things. And I don't think then you'd have to rely so much on premeditation. I think it would open up a few areas of your game, because I think your striking of the ball would improve and your confidence would improve, where you wouldn't have to adapt so much. And I get in this net that you've looked at hitting in different areas because of the masterclass that you saw. So I kind of appreciate that and I see that. But that's just, you know, that shape there just highlights to me, you know, I look at that. If I'm running into bowl, I would want to see a big 6'3" frame, rather than, it almost feels like you're trying to compact yourself rather than expand yourself.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that, yeah.
Shot. So your hands are moving quicker in this video. So it almost feels like your head is, it's almost like you're computing. I'm going to hit the ball, I'm going to hit the ball, I'm going to hit the ball.
Yeah.
Hit the ball. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't quite there. I don't mind that. Head falling slightly outside the line again.
Adjustment to make up for it. Do
you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? Just that initial movement, just holding yourself to that line.
Yeah.
When it's outside off stump, you've got so much more freedom because the space is there to hit and your weight wants to be there anyway. Whereas when you fall outside the line of off stump, hitting towards mid on and mid wicket, you're counterbalancing your body the whole time. Prime example, that shot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can definitely see it now.
Put away. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all.
It's all practice. That's all about practicing the hands, getting the hands to work more naturally.
That's your key. You know, you've allowed, you know, the space is there because it's a full toss. You've just watched the ball and hit it. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, hands throwing it away. That's fine.
So I'm quite consistent actually. It's just the hands flicking even from there. Even from there, it's quite natural.
Like many players, what you're doing is your areas of improvement and your areas of inconsistency are happening prior to the delivery and prior to the actual ball. Yeah. So it's not your ability to play the strokes or your technique in your execution of the stroke itself. It's actually the positions of which you're putting yourself in and the access of which you're restricting yourself to utilize your natural capabilities and talents. Yeah. You know, when you're counterbalancing your weight and when you're fighting against your weight, you're going to consistently struggle because your mind is telling you one thing and your body is actively wanting to do something but physically restricted and can't.
Yeah.
So, you know, the whole idea and the whole concept of the net situation that you're in is actually putting in play a concept or an idea of stroke play that highlights the key areas, which is your head staying in line with the ball, your weight being in line with the ball, and your point of contact. Now, your hands and your feet will naturally fall in line with that. Your hands are so quick anyway. Your hands are at the time are too quick because your body's, there's no body weight going into the ball. That's when you know, especially when you're cutting the ball, when you're falling away to the leg side, with your hands being so isolated, they have to be going at stupid rate to get going through.
I think if I've potentially, that sounds stupid, but where I've tried to condition myself a bit more, like I'm in bad condition in these clips. Looking back, I'm in a bit, my rig's not great. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm forcing, why my head's in balance, because I'm not getting that core strength. And therefore, as soon as my weight goes slightly, because of the amount of timber I'm carrying, I haven't got that core strength there. I'm falling away, my hands are then tense, having to take over. So
if you're looking at your angles that you're creating as well, when it goes bang, 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 with a smaller base, if you've got any additional weight in your body, and then obviously the heaviest part of your body being your head, just slumping slightly to off stump. And like you're saying, it could just be the fact that you're a little bit unfit.
I mean, that's not a strong core, which I think is something that's often overlooked for players, to have a good core strength to be able to allow them to play shots. I mean, the end of this video was me this is where I felt pretty good at the end of it. So I'll show you some of the clips through here.
So your hands are obviously your highlight. Good shot. Well, see, lots of time there.
That's a bit there. Wasn't great, but
see, that's the line again. If you just skip yourself back to, I think it's a slow bowler. I don't know what he's bowling, if it's spin or
medium pacer.
That's it. So the one that's it. Just hold it there and just go from that one. Yeah, this one here, I think. There, hold. See what I mean? So the balls come down, and there might be a little bit of misjudging, but this is the same consistent line and the same shape of which you created in the previous video, where your head is outside the line of that ball first and foremost. So the only way, and what I say is, you go fishing for the ball. You simply throw your bat in hope of making contact with the ball, rather than focusing on making a clean strike to benefit you, to score your run. So your feet become just an obstacle almost. You go, right, get my feet out of the way just so I can get bat on ball, and then you end up hitting it to mid wicket.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if that's a premeditation from yourself prior to that ball, but as soon as that ball's hitting towards that line, your head is already done the telltale moving across to that side, and that movement added on to the line of the ball can be enough at times to limit your scoring options. The benefit, you're not missing the ball.
Yeah.
Lots of players, when the ball's slightly quicker and the ball's moving later, then you're going to start to see maybe LBWs and being bowled.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But what I'd be looking at to do is, like I said, head positions a little bit straighter, being a little bit bigger at the crease, giving yourself that big base that I think. And, this isn't, this is the sort of thing where it's easy to go, I think you should do this, and this. This is the idea from a coach to go, I think you should try this.
Yeah.
And if you try it, you go, I like that. Yeah. Or you go around and go, I hate that. I'm not doing that. But if you've got a selection of, say, 3 or 4 areas of which have been identified, you might need to adjust, keyword adjust, not change, adjust 2 things, and you feel in a much better place.
Yeah.
Shot, boy. Shot.
Yeah, so
positive mentality. Positive.
Yeah. Rig mentality.
Mentality.
But no, Buzz, thank you very much for that. Actually, I thought it'd be
pleasure
to get your responses to the video, but I've been some really valuable input actually for me that I can take into my own game. So, no, I really appreciate that, guys. If you haven't already, I'm sure you already are, a lot of you are, but go and check out Buzz's channel. It's just Buzz About Cricket, isn't it, mate?
Buzz About Cricket, indeed.
Yeah. And he'll have lots of breakdowns, skill breakdowns, lots of other content around how to bowl and off spin, pretty much everything you covered, didn't you, on your channel, mate? So, yeah, thank you so much for taking the time out.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Absolute pleasure. Enjoy it.
We also, obviously, like I said, got our podcast channel. Please go over and head over and check that out at Boundary to Boundary. But from now, make sure you like, share, subscribe the video, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.